Assalamu alaikum class and a very good morning. How are you all? I hope all of you are doing well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Alhamdulillah, Miss is also doing fine. Class, are you doing your most important thing in your life? You must be wondering, what is that most important thing that Miss is asking about? Well, I'm talking about studying. Are you doing that? If yes, then excellent. Keep up the good work. Students, today in our class, we'll be learning something new and fun. But before starting our class, I want to introduce myself to you. I am your BGST teacher and I am Khadusna Fariha from Sector 4 branch, Uttara Milestone School and College. With this introduction, let's start our class now. So students, welcome to my class. Today, our class number is 25. Hurry up, write down the CW number on your copy and do not forget to write the date as well. Today, we are going to have our class on chapter 7, that is Climate of Bangladesh. So, what are our class objectives today? I'm pretty sure by the end of the class, all of you will have a clear idea about the topic as well as you will be able to answer one-word questions regarding the topic that we are going to learn today, and the students will be able to answer any question related to it. Before starting the class, I want to ask to you, what can you see from the pictures? There are some symbols related with rain, snow, summer, wind, and storm, right? Have you seen these symbols before anywhere? Very good. Where? On news for weather forecast, right? The news readers on television use the symbols for weather forecast. So, can you tell me what are we going to learn today? Excellent. Today we are going to learn things about weather and climate. Let's see what are we going to cover through our class today. In our today's class, we are going to learn about concept of climate and weather, climate of Bangladesh, about summer monsoon, the reasons behind climate change, and greenhouse gases and what are the impacts in our climate for the greenhouse gases. Climate. Climate and weather have the different meaning. We have already known that. But the question is, how are they different from each other? Well, let's see the definition first to understand the difference between them. Weather is the natural condition of a particular area of a certain day or time of day that includes temperature, rainfall, storm, etc. Now the concern is, how do we determine weather of a place? We generally determine a place's weather by measuring temperature, air pressure, air speed, humidity, and amount of rainfall of that place. On the other hand, the average weather of 30 to 40 years of a particular area is called climate. So, climate is the condition of weather at a place for a longer period of time. When we determine climate of a place, there are some extra elements should be considered besides just the condition of weather of that place. But before knowing about them, let's watch a video on the differences between weather and climate to have a clear concept about them. About determining climate of a place, we have already known that there are some extra elements should be considered besides just the condition of weather of that place. So, what are those extra elements that should be considered? They are latitude and longitude, distance from sea, height from sea level, wind moment, ocean current, slope of land, soil structure, and amount of forest in that country, etc. Here, even if you understand the other points, but I bet you are wondering about longitude and latitude. There is a high chance that for many of you, these two words are new. So, determining the climate of an area based on longitude and latitude might seem not too much clear to you. For that reason, let's understand longitude and latitude first. The picture that we can see on the left, according to the latitude and longitude, Bangladesh is situating on the marked point. And from the second picture, we can see the line equator clearly. If we want to know about the climate of equator, then equatorial regions often experience a hot climate with little seasonal variation. As a result, many equatorial cultures recognize two seasons, wet and dry. For these reasons, countries like Colombia, Brazil, Uganda, etc., which are situating on the equator, have hot climate. Now, if we focus on the position of Bangladesh, then we will see Bangladesh is situating perfectly on the line of Tropic Cancer. Most regions on the Tropic of Cancer experience two distinct seasons, an extremely hot summer with temperatures often reaching 45 degrees Celsius and a warm winter with maxima around 22 degrees Celsius. And the climate of Bangladesh is also not different. Our climate is bearable for this reason of being tropical country. Here, we neither have too hot nor too cold temperature as climate. I think now you have understood why Bangladesh is called tropical country and why our climate is like that. Now, let's see details about climate of Bangladesh. We have already known that Bangladesh is situated in the tropical region of the globe, and that is why our climate is here tropical monsoon. Besides, as we are near the sea, that is another reason why our summer is neither too hot nor our winter is too severe. In our country, the summer is warm and rainy. We often experience rainfall during the summer, but in winter, rain is rare to fall, and that is why we have dry winter. For the geographical location, we have Himalayas to protect us from the chill wind coming from the north during winter, and for this reason, the length of winter is not too long as well. During winter, the usual temperature stays between 11 degree to 29 degrees Celsius. But in extreme cases, sometimes it comes down to 4 degree to 5 degrees Celsius. We have three coldest places in our country. They are Thakurgaon, Panchgor, and Srimongol. Among these places, Thakurgaon and Panchgor are situated in Rangpur division and Srimongol is in Sylhet division. Here on the screen you can see three coldest places in our country. They are Thakurgaon, Panchgor, and Srimongol. Now, underline the following sentences on your book. These sentences are important to come as MCQ and short questions in your examination. I'm giving you few seconds to underline the sentences on your book. As we are a tropical country, we have significant summer season than winter. We have known that our winter does not last long. Then, what about the summer here? In our country, summer starts from the month of Boishakh, according to the Bangla calendar. The month of Boishak starts from 14th April of English calendar, and that is why we can say from the mid of April, summer season mainly starts. In summer, the average highest temperature is 34 degrees Celsius and average lowest is 29 degrees Celsius. But sometimes in extreme cases, temperature in the north and northwest rises to 34 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. During summer season, Bangladesh also experiences many natural calamities like northwester at the beginning of summer and cyclones at the coastal areas. Generally, from April to May and from October to November are the high times for cyclone and tornadoes. You will know details about northwester, cyclone and tornadoes later in lesson 3. Other than that, the natural calamities in summer, we have summer monsoon during rainy season. Summer monsoon causes heavy rainfall to some particular areas of our country like Sylhet, Chittagong and Cox's Bazar. But now the question is, what is summer monsoon? In the rainy season, wind blows with a vapor from the south and southwestern part of Bay of Bengal. This is called summer monsoon. Summer monsoon's definition is very important for your examination. So make sure that you are memorizing the definition of summer monsoon very well and clearly. When in rainy season for the summer monsoon, rain falls heavily in Sylhet, Chittagong and Cox's Bazar. On the other side, in Pabna, Kushtia and Rajshahi, we have less amount of rainfall. Like in summer, we have rain in autumn too. During rain seasons, we have natural calamities like flood and river erosion. Now, if we have a collective view on the climate of Bangladesh, then we will see the climate of Bangladesh is moderate. It means effects of favorable and adverse weather is equal here. Being under favorable weather, Bangladesh is evergreen and ever fertile. On the other hand, disasters like storm, tidal wave, flood, drought, nor'wester, tornado, and excessive rainfall occur due to adverse effects and cause a lot of sufferings for people. So we can say that geographically, our country is a disaster-prone country. Now, underline the following sentences on your book with me. Underline the first sentence. Summer starts from the month of Boishak, which is mid-April in the English calendar. Along with that, underline the following sentence as well. The average highest temperature of Bangladesh in summer is 34 degrees Celsius and the average lowest temperature is 29 degrees Celsius. These two lines are very important as they may come in your examination as short question or MCQ. Then underline, in the rainy season, wind blows with the vapor from the south and southwestern part of the Bay of Bengal. This is called summer monsoon. I have already told you the definition of summer monsoon is very important to come in your examination. So make sure that you have underlined the definition of summer monsoon in your book too. Then underline, Sylhet, Chittagong and Cox's Bazar experience heavy rain. On the contrary, Rajshahi, Pabna and Kushtia have comparatively low rainfall. These areas are also important as they may come in your examination for short questions and MCQ. Then underline, river erosion also increases during the rainy season. April to May and October to November are the high times for tornadoes and cyclones. In the question, in your examination, it may come like, when does river erosion increase? The answer will be during the rainy season. Also, the another question may come like, when the high times for tornadoes and cyclones in our country? When it is the high time. Okay, so the answer will be from April to May and from October to November, these times are the high times for tornadoes and cyclones in our country. So, make sure that you are underlining these all sentences in your book too. Have you noticed that recently how the climate is changing around the world? Our country is also not indifferent in this regard. Have you ever wondered what is the reason behind it? If we want to find out the reasons behind climate change, then there are many reasons or causes responsible for that. Bangladesh is also getting affected due to climate change. Weather change does not go accordingly with change of seasons. Now you might be wondering how. Have you ever noticed that how amount of rainfall during monsoon is decreasing? Besides, winter is arriving late and leaving early. The number of natural calamities is increasing too. Now we experience more floods, droughts are becoming severe, tidal waves are on the rise, rivers and canals are drying up. These are natural causes for climate change. Alongside the natural causes, man-made causes are equally responsible for it. If we want to know, then the main cause for climate change is global warming. Now the question is, what is happening and what will be happening due to global warming? For the global warming, the polar ice is melting abnormally. As a result, the sea level is increasing. Due to the rise of sea level, the countries located at low-lying southern regions and adjacent to sea areas are in danger. Because if this continues, these countries will be submerged, that means will go underwater in no time. On the other side, global warming is equally harming the life below water alongside the life above the water. The temperature of sea water is increasing, which is killing the fishes and animals under the sea. But how are we increasing the temperature of the globe? What is responsible behind the global warming? Greenhouse gases are highly responsible behind global warming. But what is greenhouse gas? Gases like carbon dioxide, that means CO2, methane, CH4, nitrous oxide, N2O, and chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, are combinedly known as greenhouse gas. The increased presence of these gases in atmosphere increases temperature of the earth. Human activities are causing this increase of greenhouse gases. Carbon dioxide constitutes the largest portion of greenhouse gases because producing carbon dioxide is easier among them all. Even if you breathe out, you produce carbon dioxide. Besides, this gas is generated from electricity production, smoke from vehicles' fuel, etc. The percentage of greenhouse gases has drastically increased these days. From this, we can easily understand the danger of climatic changes. Naturally, our planet Earth is protected by the layers of atmospheres that save us from the extreme heat and harmful rays of sunlight, like ultraviolet rays, which are also known as UVs. These atmospheric layers are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. We have layer of ozone between troposphere and stratosphere, that is from 20 to 30 km wide. This ozone layer is mainly protecting the Earth from extreme heat and harmful particles to enter planet Earth. But unfortunately, the greenhouse gases are breaking down the ozone particles, that is not only creating hole on the layer but also heat with UVs are entering more to Earth, and on the other side they cannot even go back as we have more greenhouse gases on our air. So at the end of the day, the heat is trapped inside, which is increasing the temperature of the planet Earth. I think you have understood the main reason and how greenhouse gases are responsible. You will be clearer after watching a video on it. So let's watch a video. Now, underline the following sentences with me. You will find these sentences under the lesson 2 of chapter 7. Underline the line, the main cause behind climate change in Bangladesh as well as the world is global warming. The question may come like that. What is the main cause behind climate change around the world, also in Bangladesh? The answer will be global warming is the main cause behind climate change in Bangladesh as well as in the world. Then underline the greenhouse gas is highly responsible for global warming. Question may come like, which gas is highly responsible for global warming? And don't forget to memorize the greenhouse gases as well, as they may come as MCQs. Okay? And you should also memorize the definition of greenhouse gas. Like, what is called greenhouse gas? The answer will be gases like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and chlorofluorocarbons, etc. are commonly called as greenhouse gas. Underline the line, carbon dioxide constitutes the largest portion of greenhouse gas. The question may come like, which gas among the greenhouse gases does constitute the largest portion of greenhouse gases? The answer will be carbon dioxide. So, you must know the answer. If the causes of climate change around the world is global warming, then what is the cause of climate change in Bangladesh? Bangladesh are almost same as those around the world. However, developing countries like Bangladesh do not use the same amount of fuels as used by the developed countries. This considered, developed countries are more responsible for the changes in climate, but we are the ones, the developing countries like Bangladesh, they are the ones to bear the maximum brunt of this. The temperature of the earth is also rising due to continuous deforestation. Experts opine that a country needs forests that should amount to 25% of its size, but Bangladesh has only 17%. Moreover, the amount of forest is still decreasing due to indiscriminate cutting down of trees and destruction of hills. Consequently, the amount of rain in Bangladesh has decreased recently. So, it is not time to argue that who is more responsible or who is less, as we have to work hard together at the end of the day if we want to save the planet Earth and our existence as well. Now, let's see the related question. You can see the related question on the screen. There are 5 related questions that I have given you from today's topic. The first question is, what is the difference between climate and weather? We have already discussed about the differences between climate and weather, and I have also shown you a video on it. So, If you want to answer the differences between climate and weather, in that case, you can start with the definition of climate and weather. Like, the weather is the natural condition of a particular area of a certain day or time of day that includes temperature, rainfall, wind, storm, and etc. On the other hand, the average weather of 30 to 40 years of a particular area is called climate. Other than the definition, for the difference, you may also add that how can we determine the climate and weather. That, like, for determining the weather, we actually use like temperature, pressure of speed of air, humidity, and amount of rainfall. On the other side, for determining the climate of an area, we generally consider latitude, longitude, distance from sea, height from sea level, etc. After that, for the second question, we have what is summer monsoon. For answering to this question, you have right to answer the definition of summer monsoon. I have already told you that how much the definition of summer monsoon is important for your examination. So, for answering to this question, you have to write that in the rainy season, wind blows with vapor from the south and southwestern part of the Bay of Bengal. This is called summer monsoon. Make sure that you are memorizing the definition of summer monsoon very clearly and without doing any mistake. Next, the third number question is, how can you ensure that climate of Bangladesh is changing? For answering to this question, you have to write about all the visible changes that we are having recently in our country. Like, in our country, amount of rainfall during monsoon is decreasing, winter is arriving late and leaving early, the number of natural disasters is increasing, severity of droughts, floods, and tidal waves is on the rise, and rivers and canals are drying off. All of these visible changes are ensuring that climate of Bangladesh is changing. So, this will be the answer to this question. After that, here comes the definition of greenhouse gases, as the question is, what is greenhouse gases? So here clearly you have to write the definition of greenhouse gases for the answer. So the answer will be gases like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and chlorofluorocarbons, etc. combinedly are known as greenhouse gas. The definition of greenhouse gas is very important. So, alongside the definition of summer monsoon, make sure that you are memorizing the definition of greenhouse gas also. The fifth number question is, greenhouse gas is mainly responsible for global warming. Describe. This question is very important as it may come as a part of the creative question in your examination. For writing the answer to this question, you must write how greenhouse gases are responsible for the increasing temperature of the planet Earth. We know that greenhouse gases are the combined form of carbon dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons, and methane. And these gases are actually increasing the temperature of the planet Earth. For that reason, the polar ice is melting. If this continues, then it is not too far away when the countries in the lowland like Bangladesh will be under the water. After the related question, now it is time to take your feedback. Let me see how many of you have given full concentration in today's class. Try to answer the following questions that are appeared on the screen. Can you tell me, when does summer start in our country? Yes. Very good. After that, try to answer the second question. In which region Bangladesh is situated? Very easy question to answer. So, have you answered it correctly? Yes, very good. Then, what is the highest average temperature of Bangladesh during summer season? Try to recall. Excellent. You can remember it correctly. When does river erosion increase? Can you tell me? Brilliant! Your answer is correct again. Then the last feedback. Which month are the high times for tornadoes and cyclones? Have you answered it correctly? Excellent! Your answer is correct. The students who have answered all the feedback questions correctly, very good. Keep up the good work. But the students who couldn't answer them properly, don't worry. I have answer to this question for you. Here, you will have all the answers to the feedback question that I have asked you today. Do not forget to memorize them well. Now, it is time to give your homework. For the homework, learn all our cues that I have given you. So students, that's all for today's class. I hope all of you have understood what we have learned in our today's class. But one thing I want to warn you before finishing our class, and that is, don't forget to do your homework and don't forget to learn your lesson every day. With this, I'm ending the class. Thank you for staying with me.